Hey everybody, this is a review on my backpacking cook kit. This is one that I've been using for a couple of years, probably about 2 years now, and I really like it. This is the Toaks 600 milliliter pot. Obviously you got the little orange stuff sack, and it's a real nice size, and this is the most I'll ever need. A lot of times I'll just use the instant coffee, or when I'm cooking meals I'll do ramen, or dehydrated meals, freeze-dried meals, for instance like this Mary Jane's Farm, or Hawk Vittles, or Packet Gourmet. So this is 600 milliliters, it's plenty. Real nice size. I like this one. I'm really going to miss it if I ever have to replace it, because they discontinued this model with the handles and the rubber coating, the insulated coating. I really like that. The new one, they have a 650 milliliter with kind of like the rectangular handles, and they're not coated, so you can use a handkerchief or cloth or something, but I just hate doing that. I've been burned more than once trying to fiddle a big old handkerchief, trying to wrap it around there, and it's fallen, and just don't like it. So I know you can put hose, like fuel line hose, or dip this in some kind of plastic coat or whatever that material is, but I prefer just to buy it and have it working straight out of the box without having to mess around with things. So anyway, hopefully this lasts, because I like it. And like I said, it's a few years old now. I've been using it as my go-to cook kit for at least 2 years. I originally started with canister stoves, and then moved to alcohol stoves like this Fancy Feast here. And then I moved back to the canister stoves again, just for the convenience. It's nice to be able to simmer and go all the way up to full blast if you're just boiling water. Real efficient. I like these little 4-ounce canisters. They last, I mean, I've been on as long as 5-day trips, and they last just fine. I always come back with, at least 30% or so. So a little bit of dead weight you're carrying there, maybe 3.5 ounces when it's empty. But that, opposed to a little bottle of fuel, that might weigh a ½ ounce or an ounce. So you're really just splitting hairs at that point. The convenience, like I said, I'm cooking nothing fancy but ramen. It's nice to be able to boil it, turn it way down, stir the packet in, get everything going, and having it real low, and then crank it back up. And if for some reason you're eating and it cools down, you can always put it back on the stove with a flick of a lighter, turn it on, heat it up for 5, 10, 20 seconds, and you're back in business. Opposed to an alcohol stove that, you really don't know the burn time on it if you just want a few seconds to heat things back up. So that's where I'm at right now. This is a real nice kit. You got the lid. Inside here, that lighter, little mini Bic lighter, fits inside the lid of my coffee mug, which is a Peak H300, 300 milliliter. It's double-walled insulated mug, which I really like. I know I can just drink out of this, but I just don't like to. It's just kind of strange drinking out of that little pot. I prefer a mug and an insulated mug. It's got a nice little lid on it. And inside there I've got the BRS 3000, and there's some other brands. Probably the same company makes them all, they just name them different things. Real cheap little stoves, like $12 on Amazon. This is the second one, because I stepped on this one time when it was on the canister and crushed it, bent one of the legs, and couldn't really fix it. So real nice stove. Goes way, 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 way down to almost like a candle, where it's hardly burning at all the way up to what they call blowtorch mode, where it's really super fast for boiling water. And then inside my pot here I've got a little cloth just to kind of protect the just to keep things from rattling around when it's in my pack. So I'll put this back in here, give it a quick weigh. I think it's around 9 ounces. I'm really happy with the fit here. It's probably about 1 millimeter too tall. I don't know if you can see on camera there, but if I push it down, it'll spring back up just a little bit. But it really doesn't matter once I have it in this stuff sack. And that weighs 9.05 ounces. So 9.05. And just to compare, let's see what it weighs with the Fancy Feast. If I ever want to use that, I'll put a little piece of cloth inside here to protect it. Drop that in there, so everything nests together really well, just like it does with the canister. And that weighs 9 even, so 9 versus 9.05 ounces really doesn't matter. I mean, you're just splitting hairs at that point. Again, you are carrying some dead weight with these canisters. I said 3 or 3.5 ounces. So, but if I was using an alcohol stove, the bottle of alcohol is probably going to weigh a ½ ounce or ounce. So the difference is maybe 2 ounces. Again, I'm just splitting hairs there in my opinion. For the convenience, I really like these cans, and I top them off before every trip as well with the little valve. Whether or not you feel that's safe, I've been doing it for at least a year now, and it's really nice to just be able to top them off and go out with a full canister, regardless of how long the trip is. I just like to know that it's full. I don't have to be worrying about running out of fuel. The other, I guess, part of my cook kit, like I said, I use these dehydrated or freeze-dried meals a lot. Mary Jane's Farm, these are really good. I've had maybe 4 or 5 different meals from them so far. On the back, these meals, they'll usually give you directions how much water to add. This is 1 1/3 cups. I can't guess what that is, and some people can. So what I do, this is my rehydrating koozie, I guess you call it. And it just folds nice and flat. I actually put this in the hydration pack or pocket inside of my pack. It sits real nice and flat up against my back, so you don't even know it's there. Very lightweight. Actually, the scale's still on, so what's that say? 2.2 ounces. And the reason it's 2.2 is I have a couple of things inside of here. One is my windscreen. This is just a foil pan liner, one of those disposable cooking pans you can buy. They're about, I don't know, maybe 24 by 16 inches, just guessing there. Probably not that big, but anyway, they're 99 cents at, Meijer or Costco, wherever you're going to pick up your groceries. And it's nice because it folds out, and I won't set it all up. Let's just assume this is the pot and stove and everything. You can wrap that around there, and I do like to have it kind of tight, but have one side open here so you can control the valve on the stove. And one thing with canisters, you just want to make sure that doesn't get too hot, but I've never had this get even remotely, not even warm. I mean, you think about it, it's running, all the heat's going up and out. If you have a little breeze going through there, you can cut holes and stuff through. I don't think that's really necessary, but I cut a few notches in the bottom. But anyway, yeah, even in the wintertime, or even if it's just 30, 40 degrees out, you want to warm the canister up. So any residual heat that you have coming off of the stove, which is very little going downward, it's going to heat up the canister, hopefully, a little bit, and that gives you better internal pressure. I don't want to get into the physics of it, but that'll help the stove and the canister run more efficiently. So I really like that. Real cheap, easy windscreen. And the other thing inside here I have is the, I don't know if you can see that, but just a little Ziploc bag. I cut the top off, and just gives me some measurements, ounces, milliliters, and cups. So 8, 12, 16, 20 milliliters, 235, 475, just different measurements on there that I can never really seem to remember when I'm filling up my pot. There's a lot of these meals. Like I said, this one's pretty specific. Some even give it milliliters. I think Packet Gourmet, they'll say, add 342 milliliters. I can never remember what that is. And as long as you follow directions on those, they turn out really well. So I like to hit it right on the mark. And this gets me really close to the most, some of the most common amounts of water you need to add. So all that packs up real nicely in there. And again, this is one I bought from Hawk Vittles for like $5 or $6, but also made my own with just this Reflectix material. Works out really nice. And if I forget, I even use this as a seat cushion. I'm sitting on my stool. You can lay that out flat and sit on that. It really keeps your butt warm when you're sitting in a chair or a stool when it's cold out. So that's pretty much it. Again, that's my cook kit. I've been using this for a couple years and really like it. 9 ounces plus the canister stove and any extras. So all in, this is 11 about 11 or 12 ounces total, plus the fuel canister, depending on how much I take, which is usually a full can, and that's going to be 7.4 grams or 7.4 ounces total. And that's it.